to our personal
wait,
rights.
political violence? Political violence?
Yeah, when you tell people that they have to fight in order to stop their country from
What
being
about
destroyed.
what about 3 months of riots that are mostly peaceful? Why do you support establishment candidates like Biden if he has the same donors as establishment Republicans? Wouldn't he? Wouldn't you want to see someone without donors win?
That's a really long question to answer. Simply, when it comes to the presidential campaign or the presidential competition, if it comes down to Trump versus Biden, I'm looking at the substance of what they're saying and the policies that they're for, and I'll decide based on that. But yeah, generally speaking, I would prefer a set of individuals who are not beholden to large corporate interests.
I think we can all agree on that. All right, let's dive back in here. And again, guys, there's going to be a lot of agreeing to disagree. There's no possible way that you're ever going to get me, at least in this conversation, to think that that Biden is better than Trump. And I assume the same for David. So it's not what we're doing here. We are trying to just put the conversation, put the ideas on the table, so that how can you exactly questions like Leslie just asked, that when we see that, then how could you possibly see that when the Republicans are just about the same people?
Is that what you believe?
Then there's an answer. It's not as he sees, as I'm sure many other people do, the fact that, well, that's the badness of the other side is worse. And that's a fair position for anybody. So let's dive back in here.
You love. They promote authoritarian leaders and they fan the flames of political violence that are a threat to our personal rights.
Wait, political violence? Political violence?
Yeah, when you tell people that they have to fight in order to stop their country from
what about 3 months of riots that are mostly peaceful, but actually people are getting burned down and dying and closing off the chest chop?
Yeah, none of that stuff matters.
That's
yeah, they spoke out about it at that time. 13,000 people were arrested.
The context here, as you just said, the context here is that he's talking about the problems with Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. When
that occurred under Trump.
The violence of the summer of love, summer 2020, was way and outside of that Antifa had been around since Occupy. It is left-wing violence that is way more apparent than right-wing violence. Do you disagree with that?
Generally, yeah. And what I'd point to for that is that when any discussion of civil war comes up, it always comes from groups like Steven Crowder or Tim Pool.
Why?
Because they are starting to see that as the only solution because of what they're believing from these MAGA Republicans, right? Again, just trying to use the word.
So Antifa didn't, so we didn't have the summer love.
No one is defending.
So wait. So we didn't have that. So Antifa, what was it? Michael Reinhold didn't shoot that dude in cold blood.
I don't think anyone is defending these people.
But okay, fine. So if you're not defending them, then we're not talking about MAGA Republicans being a threat to our personal rights and all this violence. We are talking about extremes on both sides.
I'm trying to get you to understand me.
We are talking about the extremes of, you want to talk about the Oath Keepers or whatever, and you want to talk about Antifa. I have never met anybody who has been in Antifa, nor have I ever met anybody who's in the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers or any of these groups. These are not around. But the fact is that the unquestionably, the Black Lives Matter riots were infinitely more violent than anything that has happened regarding Trump. What violence have we had since 2015 when he walked down that escalator that matches or not even supersedes, just matches the level of violence that we've seen from Black Lives Matter and Antifa?
Just a single event, like comparing.
No. Just in general, if we take the sum total of violence from the left-wing extremists and the sum total of violence from the right-wing extremists.
I believe that it's fair to say that there was more violence during the protests of 2020.
Okay, so then
I just don't think that the potential is the same, right? The people that did act violently during those protests, that movement has largely quelled down, right? I don't see any sort of protests going on like that. But there is a pretty significant movement that continues to talk about a civil war, right? And that comes down to this specific group of extreme Republicans.
I mean, again, I think that's just going to have to be agree to disagree. I don't know how you could possibly think that the level of violence that comes from Antifa is anywhere close to matched. But absolutely, property is a victim. But shout out to Mode. Welcome to the party. You got a left wing buddy here, so the right wing is more. No, violence to David Dorn, violence to people who had to be in, well, I guess they didn't have to be, but they were in the chop. That's again, going to be a lot of agree to disagree on this stream. So the Soul says, has Biden ever had to be removed from the White House to shelter because of the threat of right-wing violence from the right?
Depends.
How does it depend?
Well, I mean, not at present. I think that
okay. So the answer
that goes towards like how he talks to
529
people, right?
St. John's Church. They firebombed the church, and they had to get Trump into the bunker, whatever you call it. There is no, and again, we can agree to disagree because I'm not, that's not what we're here to litigate any one of these issues. It's more about the umbrella. But again, okay, that is a position that people actually believe that right-wing violence is more. I don't know how you could see the 2020 riots and see anything else. I don't know how you could see the level of gun violence and murder in general that has gone through the roof, especially since COVID has ended. But fair. If you believe that the right wing is more violent, then this kind of speech does make more sense. I definitely disagree, but that makes sense. Well, because they don't talk about civil war because they want it to happen. They talk about it because it's a warning if things keep going the way they are. Exactly. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.